This is John Colo at DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. And in this episode, I'm going to do something I've never done before or even tried in my entire life. Although I always think about things like, John, how could you get some of the nutrients in the corn cob into you? So I know over in China and other places around the world, they actually make corn juice, or maybe they might call it corn milk, where they basically take usually the kernels and sometimes the cob of the corn and blend it up with maybe some water, and then they strain it out and they have a corn juice or a corn milk, and instead of doing a blender which oxidizes some of the phytonutrients and polyphenols and can lower significantly the nutrition, I thought I would use a slow juicer to juice it, one that runs at a really low RPM so it's not oxidizing, damaging all those valuable phytonutrients. And yes, corn is a valuable source of nutrition. It has like lutein and zeaxanthin, good for your eyes, as well as vitamins and minerals, and more importantly, fiber. Although it is rich in insoluble fiber, also has a small amount of soluble fiber in there as well. That when you do juice, you do keep the soluble fiber because it's soluble in water. Now the next thing you're probably thinking, John, you can't eat corn raw, because generally the guideline is if you could eat the food raw, you can juice it and you get the benefits of the juice of that fruit or vegetable. Some vegetables, like more wild foods, do need to be heat processed, to be cooked, to maybe remove some of the toxins out of that, and I would not recommend, juicing any kind of those wild greens. That must be cooked before eating to make it, safe to eat. I know a lot of you guys might barbecue corn and have only ever had corn on the cob, splashed in butter right out of the oven or right on the barbecue grill. But I want to let you guys know that you can eat corn raw. This is organic corn. So good. Totally delicious raw. That being said, when you buy your corn, you should take it home and eat it right away, because after the corn is picked, the sugars can lessen over time. Just corn is actually quite good. I do encourage you guys actually to buy organic corn. That's the only kind of corn I buy, because corn is GMO, although generally the dent corn is being GMO, although there can be contamination with the sweet corn. The reason why I love juicing so much is it allows you to extract nutrients out of parts of vegetables that you may not otherwise eat, and or increase the volume of vegetables you can eat. So for example, on a daily basis, I generally will drink a carrot, beet, ginger juice with other different root vegetables in there, maybe parsnips or horseradish. I can basically eat 4 pounds of those vegetables before I even eat anything for the day, because I'm basically juicing that, and it makes approximately 1 quart of juice. Likewise, I've taken kale stems, and I'll post a link down below to that video, where I basically strip the kale so I can then make kale chips out of the kale itself. And then people usually don't eat the stems, they throw them away, but the stems are a source of valuable nutrition. So I like juicers that literally can extract the nutrition out of the food for you. Likewise, the corn cob that you guys are seeing right below the corn is a valuable source of nutrition. In certain countries around the world, they may boil it and turn it into some kind of corn jelly. They may make a corn soup stock out of it. Instead of that, I'm just going to run it through the juicer and literally press and squeeze out all the polyphenol antioxidants, as well as some of the other different amino acids and vitamins and minerals that are existing in the corn cob. Okay, and we're juicing this corn cob and all. Now this is fresh corn. Do not do this with dried corn. You will break your juicer. This is fresh harvested. Alright, so today we are using the Kuvings C7000, and this is the Kuvings Whole Slow Juicer Elite. This is my favorite Kuvings juicer because of the main fact is that it has a nice 3-inch wide feed chute, so that no pre-cutting of most produce items is necessary. So things like corn that are not very have long stringy fibers do not need to be pre-cut. Large cucumbers do not need to be pre-cut. Large carrots or beets do not need to be pre-cut. But things like celery and leafy greens, especially things like wheatgrass, should be pre-cut before juicing in this style machine, as in all verticals, the produce actually has to go down and then make a right angle turn coming out. And on that right angle turn, if you have long, think celery strings, blocking that port, it can be problematic. The fibers in the corn are not stringy like that and should not present a problem. But I don't know how it's going to work because I've never done this before. So without further ado, let's go ahead and turn this machine on. I'm going to take one of our corn cobs, drop it right in the machine, and check it out, man. This machine is literally crunching up that corn. Oops, and it's stopped now, and that's all right because it's a little bit too thick. We're going to go ahead and reverse this up a little bit, turn it back to on, and let it run a little bit more. And as you guys can see, we're basically literally juicing the corn, cob, and all. Alright, so this is pretty thick, and we're having a little bit of a challenge in getting the thick corn through because we didn't probably pre-cut it. So I might recommend pre-cutting it unless you want to play with the forward and reverse button on your juicer a lot, as I am doing right here. But as you guys can see, it's completely working, and now we have some corn juice. So because that didn't work completely, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a knife, and we're just going to slice through this corn, which is pretty tough, and we're just going to drop in little pieces. And so that should work a lot better. Alright, so there, we finally got it to go. So I cut in pieces, and then I cut those pieces in half. There's a will, there's a way, and that's one of the things with the juicers. You know, if you guys are juicing things that have not been juiced before, you might not have to figure out the proper technique to do so. And I encourage you guys, before you even buy a juicer or after you buy the juicer, be a continually learning, machine. And you can learn, like, oh, when I put something in this fat, it stops. If I do something a bit thinner or a smaller piece, it works better. And you will learn as you go. And so since I've never done this before, I learned that, hey, you got to cut it in little pieces and then cut it in half again. So that you just drop it in the machine without having to, like, play with the reverse button because it, like, put too much of a torque load on the machine. And as you guys can see, I mean, this is the middle of the corn cob that we are going to be juicing here. And it is juicing it right up. We are getting the maximum nutrition out of the corn because now we are eating literally the whole food. Are you in a whole food plant-based diet? Or how often do you eat the corn cobs? I've never eaten corn cobs in my life, but thanks to the juicer, I'm literally extracting the liquid gold, as the juice man taught me, formerly known as Jay Kordich. It's the juice of the fiber that feeds you. So we're going to cut that in half again, cut this in little pieces, and we're just going to drop it in and give it some time to work. And it looks like we almost have a full glass of my fresh made corn milk or corn juice, whatever you'd like to call it. Now, I have seen other recipes where they basically will combine, like, coconut milk or something with this, which you could do. And actually, at the same time you're making this, you could actually also, throw some coconut, mixture through there, or basically juice, like blended up coconut mature meat with coconut water. This is working quite well, and in a minute we'll be checking out to see how dry the pulp is. Now, once you put in each piece of corn in the machine, you want to let the machine run through that piece before you put the next piece in. If I just put one piece in, then the next piece, like, right after, may give the machine a little bit of a challenge, because, I mean, some of this cob is actually a little bit more thick than I had expected. I mean, of course, if you're just picking more baby corn, then, of course, we could even eat baby corn cobs. Maybe you've gotten those at a Chinese restaurant. But as the cob gets older, it gets a bit more dry, and is going to put a little bit more, load on the machine, although this machine is doing fine, basically grinding it all up. Another piece of corn going right in to the machine. This is a little bit thicker piece. Let's take a look. I mean, here's the thing about juicing, right? Juicing allows you to maximize nutrition you guys are getting into you. It allows you to eat foods that you may not be eating, such as, I've never eaten corn cobs in my life. I've had no desire to, but I will drink its juice. It looks quite amazing. In addition, it'll allow you to maximize the concentration of the different nutrients in the food. So, for example, like, I like carrots. I mean, I like eating carrots, but never would I sit there and eat a pound of carrots, because it's just, that would not be fun to me. But by juicing the carrots, I am able to extract the different, beta carotene, vitamins and minerals. Carrots also good for your eyes, and put that into a simple juice form that now I can benefit from. And actually, I could eat a lot more carrots because, as I said, I usually get about 4 pounds of root vegetable juice every day. And, this increases our resiliency based on science that I've seen by, loading up on the beta carotene and not being deficient in any different vitamins or minerals that we should be getting from our food and not supplements. Alright, so you guys can see I simply and easily, juiced 3 whole corn on the cobs, raw. These are not cooked, so they're nice and tough and hard. I extracted the liquid juice out of it. I mean, this stuff is like a nice gold color. Look at that, man. This is nice and frothy. I'm so excited to drink that. And now I want to show you guys what happened to that nice hard corn cob. Look at this, man. That corn cob was demolished. Now, if you got some animals, in the olden days, they would just basically feed corn to, cattle. They would just give them the corn cob and all, and the cattle would eat it all. But like this stuff right here, I actually have a guinea pig here. I can feed this to the guinea pig. Probably just eat it, corn and all. Let me see if I try to eat this. You don't want to eat that. Basically, all the goodness of the corn has been extracted out through the juicer, and this is basically just like eating fiber. So I suppose you could dry this, dehydrate it, and then you could grind it up and have your own, corn fiber. Actually, corn starch is from corn. So, yeah, first time ever trying the delicious corn juice in a glass, all right? Cob and all. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is probably one of the best tasting juices that I've ever made in my life. I am not joking. It's sweet as if you're eating corn, but then all the little kernels and all that junk getting stuck in your teeth. The cob basically makes it nice and watery, or kind of, to me, a bit more buttery, but I did not add any butter to this. Actually, I don't eat any kind of butter myself. No extra sieving or straining is necessary. Didn't really put a lot of fiber in there. Just a really nice, clean, sweet juice. And, for me, I would not drink cow's milk, but I would drink my own homemade corn milk with the cob. You guys got to try this one. Now, I do not recommend juicing corn cobs with any juicer. If you have a high-speed juicer, one that sounds like an airplane taking off in your kitchen, the corn cob, the husk specifically, will really wreak havoc on your blades, because that machine works by shredding things up, and that will dull your blade faster than you could say whatchamacallit. So I would recommend using a slow juicer such as the Kuvings C7000 or other horizontal or vertical slow juicer. And once again, I do recommend pre-cutting the pieces into smaller pieces so that the juicer can handle it. I'd also use a twin gear juicer for this job, should handle it without any issue. But yeah, you guys got to try this recipe. Fresh corn on the cob juiced. It is so delicious. Oh my God. Actually, I prefer drinking the corn cob juice. Actually, instead of eating the corn, it is really that good. Now, the other thing I want you to be aware of, yes, corn can be eaten raw. The other thing is, corn is a vegetable when it's in this state, although it can be a grain. If it's a bit more mature and it's like the dent corn, it's ground up, used to make like tortillas and whatnot. The other thing I want to say is that, corn compared to, like, say, bananas, has about 2.5 times less sugar than bananas. So for me, I'd rather eat some corn than bananas. And the other tip I would give you guys, and this might be really difficult for you guys to do, is that they have red sweet corn. So corn that is red, but it's sweet. They also have many kinds of dent corns that come in many different colors, but they are not sweet, and they would not be as good for juicing because the juice would not be as sweet. All right. So that's pretty much it for this episode. Just wanted to show you guys how you can juice corn and have one of the most delicious juices ever. If you guys are interested in purchasing the Kuvings C7000 juicer I use in this episode, check the link in the description down below. Also, the first comment will have a link to this very juicer that I used. I liked it because it has a nice wide feed chute. And it takes me about 4 minutes to clean. It allows you to juice up volumes of produce a little bit quicker than other style slow juicers. And that's why it is one of my favorites that I use in rotation depending on the specific task that I'm doing at that day. Now, if you guys enjoyed my content, enjoyed learning from me, right, I would encourage you guys to support me and my work so I can continue to make these videos to show you guys juicing items that most people never juice or you would have never thought to juice. Also, comparing different juicers so that you can get the right one for you. So if you guys enjoy my content, please make your purchase at discountjuicers.com. This supports me so that I can continue to make these educational videos and share my knowledge about eating more fresh fruits and vegetables and juicing them, which is, in my opinion, one of the best ways you can increase the volume of fruits and vegetables you eat, because they are the most under-eaten foods on the entire planet, in my opinion, because everybody's eating all this junk food now. Also producing your own juices and foods at home with your juicer so that you become a producer instead of a consumer and buy those bottled juices for like $10 or $15 a bottle, get ripped off. You can make it literally for pennies on the dollar by buying your own produce and making it fresh, and you can control exactly the ingredients and control exactly what you want to put in there. Plus, I've never found anybody that makes whole fresh corn juice straight up, so you're just literally going to have to do it for yourself. So I want to thank you guys in advance who have purchased from me and who will purchase from me. It's much appreciated. Also, if you like this content, want me to do more videos like this, hey, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Also, be sure to share this video with other corn aficionados or other juicers that may not know you could actually juice the corn. Sure, there's some other different, forums online so that people could learn about juicing corn. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you don't miss out on my new and upcoming episodes. I have coming out about every 5 to 7 days. You never know where or what I'll be sharing with you guys, whether it's juicing and a new juicer, juicing something that you didn't think you could juice before, or comparing juicers so that you guys could purchase the right juicer for you and become juicers for life. Also, make sure you click the bell so you get notified as my videos come out. And finally, be sure to check my past episodes. My past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 500 episodes at this time on this YouTube channel dedicated to comparing and contrasting all the different major juicers, vacuum blenders, and showing you guys how you can juice some really unique foods in some cases like today. So with that, my name is John Kohler with discountjuicers.com. Be sure to visit discountjuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for our YouTube visitors.